you a business, agency, or entrepreneur that wants to dramatically step up your social media marketing game? If so, this video series is definitely for you because I'm going to spell out everything you need to know in 8 simple steps, and you don't have to buy one paid ad to do it. Stick around to check it out for yourself. Hey there, I'm really excited to be teaching this course, Growing Your Business Using Social Media. And the reason why is because nothing out there has a free price tag on it that can help your business grow more than social media. And I'm talking about using social media as an inbound rather than outbound method in this course. So you're going to learn in 8 steps everything your business needs to know in order to gain organic followers, establish your business as an authority, and have followers waiting for your next high-valued post. If you don't understand the difference between inbound and outbound marketing, I wrote a good article on that I'll link up here in the description. And basically, inbound is you don't pay for the marketing, you just spend time and quantity developing content that you push out there and it attracts people, rather than paying in an outbound method to put a post or information in front of somebody's face. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for this course today, and within a few hours, you'll be growing your business using social media and your pocketbook. Complete this course in 1 to 2 hours. It has 4,883 words in about 22 lessons. There's 9 5 to 10 minute videos, and there's a total of 4 quizzes and 1 exam. A certificate of completion will be awarded to all students earning a passing grade of 80% or better. And this course has a specific social group right here on Webfolkster.com that you're automatically joined. And that way you can communicate and learn and give feedback and what have you to and with other students. So I look forward to seeing you here. So Facebook has over 2.38 billion daily active users. YouTube has almost 2 billion active users. Instagram has 1 billion. Twitter has approximately 330 million. LinkedIn has 303 million. And Pinterest has around 250 million. So why all these statistics about how many social media users there are? To make one powerful point. Your customers and potential customers are definitely on at least one of those social media platforms. With such a staggering number of people using social media every day, it is one of the most powerful ways to grow your business. Social media platforms allow you to attract new customers and connect with audiences that you never would otherwise be able to. And if your business isn't location dependent, you can reach out to customers thousands of miles away through social media. You don't need to rely on a local customer base. By posting on social media, you can even attract customers from other countries. You can get your brand in front of a vast audience who might not otherwise hear from you. Through consistent posting on social media, you can build a powerful brand that separates you from the crowd. You can establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry by regular posts and making sure it's insightful content, of course. These realities also raise some important questions. What's the best platform to use? What tactics should you use to be seen by what people? Are there certain types of content that perform better than others? How can you regularly post content? And what etiquette rules do you need to follow? Many business owners think that if they simply start posting on social media, they can be successful and attract new customers. But it doesn't work this way. In order to build your business through social media, you need to have a strategy in place. You need to know where you're going to post, what you're going to post, how often you're going to post, and more. And more importantly, have a strategy for engaging with your audience. Simply put, you need to have a plan. It's not enough to post across a variety of social media networks, not without having a plan in place, what you're going to use for social media and your images and your text, and you probably won't get the results you want if you don't have a planned strategy. However, if you do have that plan, you'll find yourself quickly building an audience. In this course, you'll find your guided step-by-step to use social media strategy for building your business. You'll be guided through the what, why, and how, so that by the end, you will have a firm plan in place. Are you ready? I hope so. Let's dive in. So you can choose from any of the 50 plus social media platforms out there today. However, I suggest initially sticking to the top 7 social media platforms. And the reason for this is because social media platforms are not created equally in any way. Your business may do very well on Instagram, but similarly, completely bomb it on Pinterest. Also, you should take your audience into consideration. Where do your customers choose to hang out on their mobile devices? Are you a business to business type business or a business to consumer type business? This will make a huge difference because the best platform for any business to business is LinkedIn. So, starting from the top, let's take a look at those top 7 social media platforms. Facebook, of course, is number 1, founded in 2004 with 2.38 billion active users. Twitter is headquartered in San Francisco, founded in 2006, 321 million active users. LinkedIn, out of Mountain View, California, founded in 2003, and they have 303 million active users. Instagram, again, out of Menlo Park, California, launched in 2010, 1 billion active users. Snapchat, Los Angeles, California, founded in 2011, and they have 330 million plus and growing active users. Pinterest, founded in 2010, San Francisco, California, around 291 million active users. And finally, Reddit, which was founded in 2005 in San Francisco, California, and they have 330 million active users. So there it is. Those are the top 7 social media platforms in a nutshell. I highly suggest you choose 1 or 2 of them to get started and to walk through the process of this course. So as we previously talked about the top 7 social media platforms out there today, and that wanted you to go ahead and try to focus on those, at least 1, maybe 2 of those. And because the first and perhaps most important step is to choose the primary social media platform you want to focus on. So instead of trying to post on every single social media platform out there, focus on 1 or 2 that will have the greatest impact on your business. And in order to do this, you'll need to know your audience. Where do they spend most of their time when it comes to social media? Where do they like to interact with your brand and your business? What sites influence them to purchase? Who are the biggest influencers in your space and what platforms do they use? If your audience is younger, you might want to focus on Instagram and YouTube, which have a strong following of millennials. If your focus is on business professionals, LinkedIn may be a good place to focus. And if you're targeting women, Pinterest is a great place to start. Optimize your social media profiles. If you went to a business's social media page and you saw that they didn't have a picture, they barely had any information about their business, and they weren't very active, would you want to connect with that business? Probably not. This is why it's essential that you optimize your social media profile. You want to make your profile as informative and attractive as possible. You want your profile to draw people in, not push them away. As Itamar Jero says, part of a lead generation effort involves building a strong social persona. Once your profile is up, potential clients are likely to come across it. And not just potential clients, but also anyone within their extended network. The last thing you want is to have a social profile that is anything but presentable. So how do you optimize your profile? Well, in the next half dozen or so lessons, we're going to focus on individual tasks to complete in order to get the best possible profile optimization for your business. First thing you're going to want to do to optimize your social media profiles is select a professional username. And you want that username to be used on all the platforms if possible. And ideally, you want it to be as close to the name of your company as possible. In other words, you don't want to create a username like TulipGirl997 or Devil Boy or anything like that. That comes across as very unprofessional, and that won't set you up for success, rather quite the opposite. Your username is typically the URL of your social media profile as well. For example, if your username is John Smith, your Facebook profile will be facebook.com/John Smith. Ideally, you want to keep your username the same again across all the social networks, and this makes it easier for everybody to find you on all the various different platforms. For Facebook, set up a professional page, not just a profile. In other words, you're going to set up a page that is dedicated to solely your business. You will only be posting business-related things on this page, no photos of your pets or memes or family or any unrelated items. You want to use your business page to build your brand and your business. Right, so the next step for profile optimization is to use a high quality profile photo. So whether you're uploading a picture of yourself or your business logo, you want to use a high quality photo. Ideally, the photo will have been professionally taken or the logo professionally designed. The photo is one of the first things that people see, and when they click on your social media profile, it tells them a lot about you when they see that. You want to put your best foot forward when it comes to your profile photo, and you want to get off to the right start. If you need to have a logo designed, you can easily go to Fiverr or Upwork, and I've included the links here, and those are great places to start to get a professionally designed logo for as little as $5, and they make it incredibly easy to get an inexpensively designed logo. The next thing you're going to want to do is write a very compelling about section. This section is where you tell the story of your business. It's where you communicate what you're all about and what matters most to you. Make your about section both compelling and concise. Depending on the social platform you use, you may have limited space to write your about information. In that case, try to get to the heart of what makes your business different from every other business. What is it that you do that sets you apart from everyone else? Include that information in your about section. Also include links to your website, your other social media profiles, and any other relevant links. Make your about section as thorough as possible so that people can get a good feel for what you and your business is all about. Just like your profile photo, you're going to want to upload a professional cover photo as well. Almost every social media platform allows you to upload a cover photo. The cover photo spans the top of your social media profile and sits behind your profile photo. Like your profile photo, you want a cover that's professional and clean as possible. If your business has a slogan or a motto, consider putting that slogan on the cover of your photo. If you don't have a slogan, you could feature a photo of your products. Ideally, you want your cover photo to further emphasize some element of your business. On some social media sites like Facebook, you can upload a cover video instead of a photo. In the video, you can highlight unique aspects of your business. So moving along to further optimize your profile, you want to enter all your contact information. Remember, you're trying to grow your business using social media, and this means you want to make it as easy as possible for potential customers to contact you. In the contact section, include as many possible ways to get a hold of you as possible. This can be your business phone, your email address, your physical address, and any other possible ways of contact. You can also invite people to message you directly from the platform. So above all else, as you optimize your overall profile on all the various social media platforms, you need to think about this. In what way and how do you want to represent yourself and your business online? Your social media profile, in a lot of ways, will be the first touch point for some potential clients, and it's critical that your profile look and feels as professional as possible to attract the overall majority of individuals to follow, like, comment, share your page. If your social profile isn't optimized and it doesn't look or feel professional, there's a good chance you'll just turn away those potential clients. And of course, you never want to do that. You're going to want to create a posting schedule. Once you've optimized your social media profile, it's time to map out all of those plans we were talking about, as well as what you'll be posting, when you'll be posting, how often you'll be posting, and a little bit about the content that you're going to be posting. Ideally, you want to do this before you actually start posting, and this will help you map out exactly what you want to post. Consider creating a social media calendar in which you map out what you will post each day during a given time period for the week, the month, or the year, and the calendar will include what you're going to post as well as when you're going to post it. So when you create your social media calendar, ask yourself these questions. How often will you post? What sort of content will you post? For example, if you're a life coach, you might want to share inspirational quotes and photos. When it comes to determining the types of content you're going to post, think about your audience first and foremost and what they would find valuable. Finally, what formats would you use? For instance, would it be a picture, a post, words? Will it be images, videos, polls, quizzes, or something similar to that? The more variety you use, the more you'll appeal to a wide range of individuals. So when it comes to actually setting up your posting calendar, if you're struggling to figure out what to post, you might want to use a tool like the social media calendar that I have linked up in this lesson. This will give you inspiration for every day of the year, and it will also guide you as to what types of content might be most relevant depending on the time of year, taking into consideration the holidays and seasons and what have you. And you also might be thinking, why do I have to map all this out in advance? Why can't I just start posting? Well, there's two reasons why you should utilize a social media calendar. The first is that it helps you to be consistent and holds you accountable. And one of the biggest challenges that business owners face is when using a social media is that they need to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're going to lose the attention of your audience. After all, there are millions of things being posted every single day. If you're not consistently posting and in your audience's face with content that they like and love and want to consume, they're going to turn their attention elsewhere. So if your social media goes dark for weeks at a time, you're not doing yourself or your followers a favor. Waiting weeks or days between posts can often kill any enthusiasm that you've built up, and this can lead to an uninterested audience or people jumping the ship, completely not following you anymore. So make a schedule that suits your workflow and keep it up. It could be that you have new work week every Monday and you have things on the schedule so you can post around that. Maybe you can do it like a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or perhaps you think it might work best to publish on Sunday mornings. No matter what you decide, make sure it's consistent. And it doesn't need to be a huge undertaking, it just needs to be consistent. So by creating that social media calendar we've been talking about, you do all the hard work of figuring out what and when you're going to post up front. And then that takes the guesswork out of it, and it ensures that you won't struggle trying to figure out what to publish at the last minute. So this makes it much easier for you to be consistent over the long run, since you don't have to constantly be trying to figure out what you're going to post. Finally, and second, using a social media calendar forces you to be active on social media and above all else, holds you accountable. You can't use the excuse of not knowing what to post because you've already mapped and laid it out. So I think it's important that you get to this step right away. And before moving forward, go ahead and use that link or just print out a calendar and start to look at what, when, and how you're going to post, whether it's going to be like a video, an image, or text, and get that schedule outlined and stick to it. By doing that, you will win new followers and customers for your business. All right, so we've gotten to the point now where you're ready to basically begin posting on social media. And so once you've created all your social media content calendars and posting schedules, it's time to go ahead and begin your posts on social media. And basically, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is when it's time to actually start putting that valuable content out there on your chosen social media channels. So what sort of content should you be posting? If you want to win new clients and also satisfy existing ones, it's essential to post content that will add value to your audience. This is such a critical point. You're not just posting to post, rather you're trying to provide your audience with high-valued information that will help them live their best life possible. Some of your posts that would help your audience might look like this. Think about something in a new way. Create a post about it. Thinking outside the box. Take action like they never have. Something that motivates you. Something that makes you laugh, smile, or giggle. How about learning something more valuable or coming away from a post feeling like you truly learned something new today? I mean, the list can go on and on. Ultimately, you have to determine what's best for your audience. And if you've been doing it right, you have asked the right questions and also have been paying attention to the types of engagements you've been getting on your existing posts. Okay, so now that you've started posting, I want to go back to something that I talked about in the beginning, and that's knowing your audience. Because if you know your audience well, you will know what they find most valuable. And if you don't know your audience, you can find yourself struggling to create posts that resonate with them. Consider posting things like inspirational quotes, tips and tactics, tutorial videos, live videos, pictures that will motivate your audience, and more. For example, let's say you're a health and wellness coach. You could post inspirational quotes about being healthy, tips and tactics for eating healthier, a tutorial video on how to perform a particular exercise, a live video in which you answer questions from your audience, and pictures of people performing challenging exercises. Those are all good examples of great posts with valuable content. When creating your content calendar and posting on social media, constantly ask yourself the following question: is this adding value to my audience? If it is, post it. If you don't think it will, don't post it. If you're not sure which types of content add the most value to your audience, try experimenting with different formats. You might find that videos perform better than photos, or that your audience really likes tutorials and tips. Test out a variety of these formats and see which ones resonate the most with your audience. You might be thinking, I don't have time to be constantly posting. My gosh, I'm running a business too. Well, the good news is that you don't have to be on all the different social media platforms and all of them every day. Using a tool like Buffer or Hootsuite, which is linked up in this lesson, you can actually schedule out weeks or even months of advanced posts. So consider using your social media calendar in conjunction with one of those tools, and by scheduling a significant number of social media posts in advance, you can save yourself hours of time and constantly engage with your audience. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about engaging with your followers, because it's not enough to simply post on social media and then go on your merry way. The real power of social media is that it creates conversations between you and your followers. At least it should create conversations. Those conversations are key to getting more clients through social media. It's important to regularly and consistently engage with your followers by responding to comments, answering questions, solving challenges, and more. Social media is not a one-way street. Rather, it's a conversation between those who follow you and yourself. A conversation involves both speaking, posting, and listening, responding. If you want to build relationships and gain clients through social media, you need to be having conversations, not just publishing new content. One of the things that matters most when it comes to social media is that you feel authentic. You don't want to come across as a huge corporation who only posts on social media and never engages in any conversation. Instead, you want to authentically engage with your followers. Authenticity is attractive. It will attract new followers and turn them into new clients. Another reason to engage with your followers is so that social media platforms tend to prioritize the posts with the most engagement. So, a post that gets lots of engagement will be seen in news feeds more than ones that haven't been engaged a lot. And those posts with the most likes, comments, and shares, and overall engagement do get shown more frequently. So, if you want to get your posts seen by as many people as possible, then you absolutely must engage with your followers on a regular basis. You must talk with your followers, create conversations, answer questions, and respond to any problems that are raised. So another form of engagement is to ask questions. Rather than talking at your audience, your goal is to talk with them, and do that as much as possible. That creates real relationships with them. What are some ways that you can create conversations with your followers? Let's talk about them. Well, obviously, let's ask questions. How about doing live videos which talk directly with your audience? Conduct polls, ask people to comment on a particular subject, make statements that will get people talking, but just be careful that it's not too controversial. And there's a bunch more things you can do. The most important thing is focus on being real and authentic. And you will guarantee yourself to have amazing conversations with your followers. So in the very same way as following the right people as a business, you want to join the right groups. One important thing to take into consideration regarding groups is you must be very careful about promoting yourself and your services, because many groups have strict rules about that kind of thing. Don't spam any groups. In fact, when you join a group, focus on adding value and don't promote yourself. The more value you add, the more you'll become known as an expert, and this will naturally attract clients to you. In fact, the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing at all. And as you follow influencers in your industry and take part in groups, take note of the valuable information you see others sharing that have large amounts of engagement. What sort of posts do others share that resonate deeply within you? What content adds the most value for you? Additionally, what sort of content seems to get the best response? What posts generate the most conversations and engagement, questions, answers, and what have you? This is the kind of content that you want to be sharing with your audience. You don't have to be completely original. What you do share online just has to be consistent and authentic. Don't be afraid to adopt techniques and strategies that work well for others. You're not trying to recreate the wheel. You're just trying to promote yourself by posting valuable content and attracting people to you. In addition to joining online groups, there are also several platforms that focus heavily on answering questions that are posed by users. For example, Quora lets any user post a question and then other users try to answer that question. Quora, which is linked up here in this lesson, is a great place to show off your expertise without being overly promotional. It lets you speak directly to a person's challenges, and it lets you offer advice and answers. Also, a great way to build relationships. If you do it right and add a large amount of value to those on that platform, it certainly will lead to you getting more clients for your business. All right, so now we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, and that's the use of hashtags, which also makes this my favorite lesson. So that being said, hashtags are the words with the tic-tac-toe symbol right before them. For example, hashtag Monday Motivation, hashtag CrossFit Life, hashtag chiropractic care, hashtag vegan, hashtag Webfolkster, and so on. Hashtags are used as a way of grouping posts by subject. If you add a hashtag to a post, it will be grouped with other posts by people who have made a post using that hashtag. If you see a post with a hashtag, you can quickly click on it and instantly see all the other posts with the same hashtag. For example, if you clicked on hashtag CrossFit Life, you would see that the other posts people had created about this topic if they used the hashtag CrossFit Life. Some sites, such as Twitter, highlight the most popular hashtags, giving you a sense of what's trending at any given time. You can follow hashtags so that you are regularly seeing the posts with that given hashtag. The power of hashtags is that they allow you to get your content in front of a broader audience. In other words, you can have people seeing your posts that aren't even your followers. And by adding the appropriate hashtags, you can get them seen by thousands, if not millions of others. So how exactly do you use hashtags? Typically, it works like this. You create a social media post. At the end of the post, you add a hashtag. And make sure that the hashtag is related to the post. For example, if you're a health coach and you want to post a tip on CrossFit workouts, you would create a post and at the end, put your hashtag that might look like this. Before you do any CrossFit workout, spend at least 10 minutes getting warmed up and stretch out. Hashtag CrossFit Life, hashtag CrossFit Workout, hashtag stretch before you work out. Notice that you can add multiple hashtags to a post, depending on the platform you're using. You may be limited by space in terms of how many hashtags are appropriate. Generally speaking, you don't want hashtags to dominate your post. You want them to be towards the end, and be careful to use the right amount. If your hashtags aren't related to the content you post, there's a chance that people could actually turn you away. For example, if you attach a CrossFit hashtag to a completely unrelated post about like a television show, some people won't like it and will feel like that you're abusing the hashtag and you're a spammer. And that's a form of clickbait. As much as possible, keep your hashtags closely related to the content you're posting. There are a number of websites that actually can help you find hashtags to use with your social media posts. These sites include All Hashtag, Seek Metrics, Tailwind, and Ingrammer. I've linked them up in this lesson. Now you, as a business, are going to have to experiment a little bit. If you truly want to succeed on social media, you'll need to experiment to see what works best. Different types of content will resonate with your audience in different ways. You may find that videos work really well, while inspirational quotes don't perform well at all. Or you may find that asking questions generates a lot of discussion, but when you do a poll, it falls flat. Experimentation is especially critical since social media platforms are constantly changing. Currently, Facebook gives preference to posts that keep people on their site, such as videos. These posts show up in people's news feeds more often than not, and Facebook doesn't give nearly as much exposure to those posts that send people off their website, such as links. But this could change in the near future. Facebook may give preference to some other types of content. The moral of the story: be constantly testing to see what works most effectively for you and your audience. And as you test, you'll discover what adds the most value to your audience. Then, and only then, can you post more of that type of content, which will engage them and generate significantly more followers, business, and overall engagement. It ends up being a virtuous cycle that helps you connect with more and more people on social media. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and don't hesitate or wait any longer. If you're not regularly using social media to build your business, you should be. The advantages of using social media are enormous. With social media, you can attract new clients, build your brand, establish yourself as a thought leader, connect with new audiences, create meaningful relationships, connect with other influencers, and so much more. Thankfully, it's not particularly complicated to get started building your business through social media. Simply follow the 8-step process that I laid out in this course and video series, and you will be well on your way to social media success. Choose your platform, optimize your social media profile, create a posting schedule, start posting on social media, engage with your followers, follow the right people, and join the right groups. Use hashtags, experiment, and with a little bit of hard work and a little bit of luck as well, and a lot of hard work, I should say, you'll be well on your way. You don't need to be intimidated by social media. Even if you're never consistently posted on a platform before, you can get started today. And the past is the past, and all you can do is move forward from this day on. You can easily start building your business and your brand through the power of social media. So again, don't wait any longer. There are clients out there just waiting for your business to find them.